Maybe we'll just start the episode off with me just sitting here, just just lounging because you can't actually see where any of the damage is. Oh, we'll be like, here, come have a coffee with Joe. It's just chilling out on the sofa. I wonder if we could actually get my foot in there. It's probably pretty ugly though. I mean, ha! Yeah, that's not pretty, is it? Hi everybody, Josiah here, also known as Chilling Silence, and it's been a little while because unfortunately I've been in a motorcycle accident. Was a hit and run, so hence we are in the living room today. Wait, you can see all of the lovely pop vinyls and things up there. Oh, moving forward like that is not pleasant at all. So I'm here in the living room because I basically have got to keep my leg elevated. We'll edit in a photo and post of it happening or something. Um, but I really wanted to talk with you a little bit about the what's been going on with DigiByte, specifically in the last couple of weeks and things. And actually, before we do though, I wanted to actually say a really big shout out and a great big thank you to everybody who's been sending me messages, the support, the encouragement, and things. It's really great, and it's been absolutely incredible. Frankly, I'm so very grateful to have had that kind of support, both specifically from my family and things coming to see me in person, but also from the amount of people that have checked in with me online. And so for that, I genuinely do want to say a really big thank you. Um, let's try and let's try and swap scenes here. So this is what actually happened to my R6. I was unfortunately heading down the motorway on ramp. At the time, I thought there was just the one brake. I was mistaken. There is more than just the one brake. There's actually, they reckon there's dozens and dozens of fractures in my one foot alone. So that's kind of fun. Yay. Yeah, haven't actually managed to follow up with the police about the hit and run, but who knows? So that's kind of unfortunate. But anyway, let's keep moving on to the really good stuff, specifically about DigiByte though. So let me just okay. So let's actually talk about the good stuff here. I really wanted to have a chat specifically about the continuous integration that's been going on. Now, continuous integration, I alluded to this, I think it was back in DigiByte update 243. So what this is going to do is every time somebody checks in some new code, it's going to specifically take that new code and effectively just build DigiByte with it, which is pretty cool. So it's going to fire up a test environment, I suppose, and it will take these changes and incorporate them, and then run through some of the unit tests that we've been doing. Now, these unit tests basically check, is this going to change DigiByte from being DigiByte? Is it still going to follow the same consensus rules and things like that? Or is there going to be problems and all of that kind of really, really good juicy stuff? So what Yoshi's done is he's gone and he's updated the continuous integration stuff here. Actually, I'll go on to the other one, which is probably more interesting, which is now that we've got this continuous integration, every time somebody makes the commit, they make a pull request, it's going to automatically check in. And so I'll show you that a little bit later on, specifically what that looks like. But this is really cool because this is going to save a bunch of time. This is going to make sure that any future changes and things, which we're doing with DigiByte version 8, are going to adhere to this, and they're going to keep DigiByte as DigiByte. So we can bring in all of these other changes and we can see what happens with them, and we can basically make sure that, yes, we haven't gone and accidentally broken the way that the algorithms work, and we would permit like some different one for the first like a million blocks or something like that. So what this is doing is this is checking to make sure that DigiByte is DigiByte, and the uniqueness that makes DigiByte DigiByte and not Bitcoin, for example, or not Vertcoin, is still going to basically be adhered to, and that these changes are not going to break it. So things like if we're changing where an element is in the graphical interface, or if we are changing the way that we respond to an RPC call, those kind of things are totally cool. But obviously, what's going to happen is we're going to potentially do some algorithm swaps in DigiByte version 8. And so the unit tests are also going to need to be updated at the same time as the pull request for the incorporation of, say, for example, ProgPow, RandomX, or whatever else. And this is really quite cool because this is going to give people that certainty around the code, knowing that, yes, what is being committed here is not going to go and affect these other things in some random unknown way. Like, it's not going to magically start printing new DigiBytes or change the amount that you get on each block reward, for example. And so I think that's actually really, really important, and it can't be understated enough, especially as we're going to be making such a huge change with DigiByte version 8. It's shaping up to be the biggest release that has ever happened, and as such, these kind of checks and balances in place are super duper important. So I just kind of want to fill you in a little bit there. Now, one of the other things as well, this is something that I managed to do while I was actually kind of lying on my back, because this is the first time I've actually sat up in a while. But last night, before I went to sleep, I sort of thought, you know what would be cool is if we had some badges that showed the status of things and where we're at, and just kind of improved the look of what's going on GitHub a little bit. So what I've done is I've actually made a commit here, made a pull request. And you can see that even though this is for like a completely trivial change, we're just changing how the README looks when you go to see DigiByte on GitHub. Like it's not actually even touching the code itself. This is just how the README looks. This still has to go through that same kind of a review process, which I think is quite cool that we have this process specifically in place here. So anyway, what I've mentioned here is we've got a live build status based on the build and check continuous integration. So that's what Yoshi's been working on, and this will basically update people and show them where it's at and show them what happened with the last pull request. Was it successful? Did it fail? All that kind of juicy stuff. Live details of the downloads. So we've recently changed, obviously, from DigiByte/DigiByte to up here, DigiByte-core/DigiByte, so that it is an organization. We've got a live overview of any pulls and issues, so we can see here 3 issues, 2 pull requests, the commit activity, and all of that really kind of cool stuff. So this is what it looks like. We can scroll down. This particular, can I zoom in on this? Yeah. So this is now what's going to show up at the top of GitHub here, and I'm aware that I've probably got my picture down in the corner there, covering some of this, but that's okay. This is what you'll see eventually, if this is accepted, of course, because it's got to go through the review process. And it's going to show you that this is the current main release. This is how big the repository is. This is how many downloads we've had. So for this latest release of DigiByte Core alone, just the core wallet, there's been 23,000 downloads, which is pretty freaking cool. And yeah, there's an error there, which was basically, I think it was around the license. Oh yeah, the error for the license. But so we can see all of these details around how many contributors, the last commit, how much activity there is, the pull requests and things. Super, super cool. And this is what I actually wanted to show you, was down here. So this is the continuous integration stuff. So all checks have passed. There was one successful check, so we go show all checks. What it does is it runs the build and check. Now this is basically grab the changes. Does DigiByte build with it? Yes, cool. Does it pass the unit tests? Yes, cool. Okay, so in that case, then the pull request can go to the developers for review, effectively. What's really awesome is I can click on details here, and it will actually take me through to it and show me all of these details down here about what it actually does. So we can view the make history and see the logs and see the output as it gets compiled, all of the files and everything like that. So if there does happen to be an issue, we can go through and review it and find out where that is. We run the make checks and things, which we can see them here as well. Does it pass? Does it fail? All of the juicy stuff that Yoshi's been working on for those unit tests and the integration. So I think that's really quite cool. I want to give a little bit of an example of that. Even though this is a it doesn't affect the code base itself, it's still an example of what process everything now has to go through, so that we can really elevate both the level of coding and the trust in the coding and all of that kind of really just juicy stuff. It's really going to take DigiByte to the next level. You can be assured that what you are running is what's supposed to be running. It's pretty awesome. I really like it. Now, speaking of this continuous integration, what I'm going to do is I'll have a little bit more of a chat with you. I'm going to see how I go after making this DigiByte update video. We'll try and do another DigiByte update video and talk a little bit more about that. And in talking about it, what I really want to explain a little bit more is some of why there's been delays, why we've had to go through this. And I think that once this next DigiByte update video is done and is out, that's really going to make a lot more sense to people about specifically the why and why we've had to do all of this. It's definitely for the best. It's been a hard slog, and to be honest, if I had had my way, we would probably not have done this. But this is actually like the right thing to be doing. It's hard yards. It really is. But yeah, I'll tell you what. I won't jump ahead of the next DigiByte update video, but I'm going to talk with you a little bit more about some of the other build stuff that we're doing and the next minor release, and we'll go from there. So that's going to be all from me for today, for today's DigiByte update. I hope you've enjoyed this. Again, a big shout out, big thank you to everybody for all of the support and things. It's been incredible, and I am so very grateful. So stay tuned, hit the like, subscribe button. I try to get back to you if I can. Obviously, given that I'm basically bedridden at the moment. Trusty pillow. Well, bedridden, sofa-ridden. I might take a little bit longer than usual, but we'll get there. And stay tuned for this next update, because that's what I'm really looking forward to, is talking more about what's going on ahead, like the future. So, appreciate it. Hit the like, hit subscribe. That's a terrible way of ending. I'll talk to you on the next video. Cheers. Everybody loves a good minion though, right? Actually out of breath now. Oh, that hurts. Fuck. Hi everybody, Josiah here, also known as... What am I doing with my... I mean, this is the first time in what, like... an actual week. An actual week that I've gone and put on a t-shirt, so... we're just gonna have to make do. Can you see yourself? One more? Oh, can you see the peanut? Is that what we want? Yeah, peanuts. You're doing a terrible job of eating this. Oh, okay. Come in.